Hi, my name's Nicole, and I'm going to be discussing child marriage in Nigeria and the various factors influencing its wide acceptance and prevalence today. Child marriage is the practice of marrying a young girl, generally defined as below the age of 15, to an adult. In most cases, it is always a young girl married to a man. In these instances, sometimes the men are twice their ages and the girls become child brides. In Nigeria, the constitution has no minimum age of marriage or regulations to protect these girls from child marriage. As a result of the lack of protection, 3 in 4 girls are married before their 18th birthday. To these young girls, this is extremely normal to them and an accepted stage of their lives. Many interpret their early marriage as a reflection of their beauty and desirability. If they aren't married by 18, they will often think it is because they aren't good enough. Being that Nigeria is the country with the largest number of people living in extreme poverty, money is a powerful motivator to the people living there. In many cases, parents who are struggling to provide basic living necessities for their children and themselves will be paid off in return for their daughter's hand in marriage. Or sometimes there is no payout and the family is using their daughter's marriage as means to get financial ties with these people. It is the parents' hope that they can better care for themselves and their remaining children without the financial burden of another child. The lack of proper education is another reason why people have their children married at a young age. Given that Nigeria is still developing and has a significant portion of the population that lacks educational qualification and form of training, this exposes them to a lot of societal superstitions and misinterpretations of marriage. As a result, this makes them gullible to any superstition or misconceptions that have been passed down from generation to generation regarding early child marriage. In addition to that, many people do not have a proper idea of the post-marriage life that the child will have to face, like domestic violence. Given that these children are being married at such a young age, they have no sense of control in their marriage and are often victims to mental, physical, and emotional trauma. A lot of times these girls feel that the violence they experience is justified because, given their age, they lack the proper differentiation of what is really right and wrong. The lack of education also accounts for people being unaware of the risks of pregnancy and childbirth. When a girl is married at such a young age, it does not just impact her mental and emotional well-being, but it also affects her physical well-being. Just like here in America and other places throughout the world, it is not uncommon for newly married couples to have a child. In Nigeria, though, when a girl as young as 12 years old is pregnant, it puts them at a great risk for various complications throughout the pregnancy and especially during childbirth. Since in many cases these girls' bodies are far underdeveloped due to lack of nutrition, simply their young age, childbirth often lasts days because the baby is unable to fit through the girl's pelvis, which often ends up badly broken. Even once the baby is born, the mother has typically experienced permanent damage to her body, which will change the way she has to live her life moving forward. The effects of child marriage don't end with her. They also carry on into her child's life, especially if she has a daughter. When a baby is born to a mother that is a child, the mother lacks not just the ability, but the skills and knowledge necessary to provide it with things that she wasn't, like an education, a healthy home environment, and proper nutrition. When this child is surrounded by the same habits and tradition her mother once was, she is essentially being inserted back into the same cycle of child marriage. While ending child marriage will be extremely challenging for various reasons, it is definitely possible and within reach as long as people continue raising awareness about what's going on in Nigeria. Most importantly, these girls and future generations need access to a proper education where they can learn about how to better take care of themselves and others around them, and also basic math, reading, and writing. Also encouraging parents to take better care of their children with monetary benefits and assistance with basic living necessities, and also being educated about the effects of child marriage has on their daughter. Lastly is encouraging government change and reparations of the current laws in place which give these girls no protection from child marriage. An organization that does a great job at raising awareness about child marriage, not just in Nigeria, but globally, is Girls Not Brides. This organization has created a theory of change which outlines the major points of change that need to be addressed in order to end child marriage. Are empowering the girls, mobilizing families and communities, providing services, and establish and implement laws and policies. If their strategy is implemented and works, then these girls will be able to decide if, when, and whom they want to marry, and for these girls to lead a happy, healthy, and empowered life however they decide they want to.